Welcome to episode 2. If you are new here, I'm Isla Wilson.
And I'm Sophie Brogadier. To start off this episode, we're joined by Julia Palin, who is a communications coordinator with the New England Patriots. And Julia and I met at the Patriots Media Family Day this summer when I was with my dad. And speaking of my dad, he actually got us these beautiful mugs that you can see here on our set.
Shout out to Josh.
shout out to Josh. And so, Julia, let's get right into our interview. So first, can you tell us a little bit about what your job entails and what exactly you do with the Patriots?
Of course. Well, thank you guys for having me. So cool to see you guys doing this. So interesting. I still struggle to explain my job to people, but we're gonna try. So basically, the communications department, we are essentially the middleman between the team and the media, whether that's internal or external. So any media requests that come through, interview requests, appearance requests, network, broadcast, all that stuff comes through us. And so we are tasked with coordinating those interviews, but also with preparing our coaches and players to execute those interviews. So we kind of refer to ourselves as like their media coach, if you will. So we design all of our media training for the rookies, the veterans, give that every year. And then it's really day-to-day interaction of helping them. They have a very big platform. So any questions they receive or expectations put on them, like we're here to help them through that. So in addition to that, we also are responsible for publishing a lot of resources for the media. So there's our media guide, which is basically this 600-page thing that has all of our bios, our stats, our records, notes, like all those things like that are football related. So it's cool to kind of stay connected to the sport. Like I have to understand the game to do it. So that's been really fun. And then during the season and during the week, we publish a game release every game. So that is essentially like, think of it as a press release for the game. So it's like, okay, what's the network covering it? XYZ. And then it has all of our game notes, like what to look for during the game. Like, is anyone near a milestone or something that's going to break Patriots history or rewrite the record books in the NFL, like things like that. So, that's part of it. And then I'm also responsible for credentials. So I have the fun job of printing and coordinating all of that for media, broadcast, our team, the visiting team when they come, and then also making sure that when we go to an away game that everybody's able to get into the stadium without issues. So that's a whole loaded process, but those are kind of the three main things that I would say I touch personally.
I just want to jump in before Isla asks her next question. Are you the people who make the fun social media videos that everyone sees on their Instagram and TikTok, or is that like a different group of people?
I'm very glad you asked that. So that is not us. So essentially, I think a lot of people assume that's us, but I think it's confusing because most college teams, their PR and their content departments are the same. So in colleges, like when I was at LSU, like that, yes, like we were doing the social media videos, but we were also doing like the sports information, media guide, game release, like interview prep stuff. But when I got to the league, those are entirely separate. So our content team does all the social media stuff. They do like Forged in Foxborough, that documentary series, like all the content is their realm, and we work with them very closely to like approve the content that they're producing and like approve the ideas before they set the filming or whatever it is in motion. But yeah, those two departments are definitely separate, but we work closely together to make sure that like they have an idea, but we want to make sure it's something that that aligns with like our team's mission and vision and everything like that.
Perfect. And Julia, can you tell us how you first became interested in sports media?
Yes. I don't even really know. So I've never wanted to be like on TV. I've never wanted to like I don't want to do what your dad does ever in life. Um, but I don't know. I think, I was an athlete growing up. All of my um, memories with my family are at football games. So football is always my favorite sport outside of running um, and soccer when I played that. But um, so I knew like, okay, if I wasn't going to be a professional runner, I want to work in football. And I started in college as a physical therapy major. I couldn't do athletic training because I was running, so you can't be an athlete and then also do athletic training because of all the observation hours and stuff like that. So doing the physical therapy track was my way around it. But I hated it. So I really didn't know what I was gonna do. And then my dad was like, "Well, you've always liked to write, so you can just do communications. That's a very broad arena, so you should be fine." So did that, and then found out that I could get like internship credit for working in my school's sports information department, which is what I touched on earlier. So it's essentially like the college version of what I do now. Um, and I was like, well, I have no idea what this is, but I'll do it. And it's for a semester. So if I hate it, fine. If I love it, great. And I ended up loving it. So I just got more and more involved with that as time went on. So yeah, I didn't really, I think I considered like, okay, do I want to be a writer at some point? But then I saw how like interviews would occur and take place, and I was like, I don't really want to be the one asking the questions. And I care more about the relationship between myself and the player or the coach, whatever. Um, and I found that I could really build that through being on like the behind the scenes PR side. And so that's kind of how I figured it out, I think.
I mean, you kind of touched a little bit on my next question already, but I mean, did being a student athlete in college impact working towards your career? And like, how did you find the balance between doing like running track and then also your schoolwork?
Yeah, so I was really lucky. LSU understood that I was an athlete first. Well, everyone's a student first, yes. But like when it came to my work in the sports information office, they were like, you need to worry about you running first. So um, I did that internship credit thing my junior year, I think. Um, and they were always so great about like, you do as much as you can and as much as you want to. So, um, and also distance running is probably, I think it's the only sport in the entire NCAA that is in season all the time because we have cross country in the fall, we have indoor track, and then we have outdoor track. Like most sports, you're not in season for at least the fall or the spring, but that was not the case for us ever. So, um, it was really just like touch and go here and there in the beginning, like my junior and senior year, and then I stayed for grad school because I was hurt a lot, so I had more eligibility left, and then the COVID year, so I did a 2-year grad program and planned to run, didn't end up running ever because I just was still hurt. So um, that allowed me to get more involved with football. So um, just because I was still going to practice every day, but I wasn't traveling or, racing. So I had more time to kind of explore, like, okay, I know I really only have 2 years of college left. So let me like focus in on what I want to do. Um, so I would say like, it wasn't necessarily me balancing it. It was more, I was really, really lucky. I had people that cared about me and were willing to work with me and give me as much experience as I could get with whatever circumstance of life I was in. So, um, yeah, I'm very thankful for them.
That's perfect. And I mean, I did do a little bit of research on you before. And so, as you mentioned, you had that 2-year master's program, and I saw that you had it in business administration. So, what like influenced that, and why did you choose more of like a business path?
Um, I think two things. One, I think just with the way our industry is right now, and this could certainly change, like, I didn't necessarily feel like getting a master's in communications was going to like move the needle that much. Um, just because I felt like, the advice I was getting from people that were already in this profession didn't seem to think like, oh, if you get a master's in communications, like that's not necessarily going to make you more appealing to me, like as a hiring manager. So I was like, okay, great, good to know. But I felt like, getting a master's in a different field, but like kind of tangentially related, like an MBA, would at least give me like some background knowledge of how like massive businesses work. Because at the end of the day, like the NFL is entirely a business. Um, so if I had a general understanding, like not super in the weeds and super niche, of course, like I'm not a business expert by any stretch, but it was kind of cool to just do something different, like totally not even close. Like I always thought communications and business are kind of close. No, like they're so opposite. Um, so it was cool to do something different, one, and then two, like I think it did give me a little bit insight into like business law. And so like sometimes when terms are thrown around in meetings that I'm in, I'm like, oh, like I know what that is. So um, I would recommend it to really anyone because I think at the end of the day, like no matter where you work, it's a business. So having some knowledge of that is helpful.
So interesting because I've never really thought about it as much in relation to sports. I mean, before we continue on a little bit, asking you about your career now, what was your favorite college athletics memory, either that you watched or were a part of?
I'm so sorry. The lights just like I just I don't want to like get up and ruin it. Hold on.
Your shot still looks good
Yeah,
to
you
us.
still look good.
Okay, good. As long as it's fine with you guys, I don't care.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah,
looks good.
you look good. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there we go. What the heck? Anyway, um, my favorite college athletics experience, was that the question?
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. Ooh. I would say there's probably two. I'll do one that's like me personally and one that's just being there. Um, Me personally, probably my freshman year. That was really the only year that was like halfway decent running wise. The rest were just injuries. But anyway, um, I think freshman year scoring at SEC's indoor, just because like I wasn't highly recruited. I didn't have a huge scholarship or anything, and like I mean, I was kind of like a preferred walk on, so I didn't have to try out. But they were like, yeah, like you can. Like I had a spot on the team, but so I don't know. I don't think anybody really ever expected me to do anything, including myself. But like being able to score points and like actually contribute for my team at the highest level was like really, really meaningful to me. Um, and yeah, so that was really cool. I would just say like my entire freshman year running, and then also um, my sophomore year when LSU won the national championship in football. That was incredible. Just so much fun. Like I cannot even put into words how special those games were to be at, and like it's kind of insane now being in the NFL because like all of those guys that were on that team are in the league, and I'm just like I cannot believe America let you all be on the same college team. Like that's not even fair. So it's like crazy to think that like they were all together on the same team and I was there watching them play and now watching them play in the NFL. It's so cool. So if you're ever considering going to a big school, I'd recommend it for that because you can like see them. It's just really cool and special to see like how we've all grown and like achieved our dreams in a way. So yeah.
And now, focusing a bit more on your career, I know you're from Norton, so what does it mean to you to be working for a team that you grew up cheering?
It's weird. It's like really crazy. But I think it helps me a lot because like I know what happened, if that makes sense. So like when I'm doing if I'm like researching notes for my boss, or if I'm like thinking back to a player or a coach that's been here, like I already know because I lived it kind of. And it's just cool to reminisce on like, we'll our content team will post like a throwback to the 2018 AFC Championship game or whatever. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I was there." But like as a fan, and now it's like I'm there but I'm working. So it's really surreal like all the time. Um and especially when the former players come back and I'm like, because I think as a fan, like before I started working here, they seemed so far away, and like, oh my gosh, like that's Julian Edelman, like holy crap. But then now it's like, oh, Julian's here. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I don't really, it's like I try not to take it for granted because I know this is not normal. Like it's not. Um and I think it allows me to care so much more. Like I genuinely care about, I think I'd care no matter where I was. Like if I was working somewhere else, like for a different team, I think I would still really, really care, of course. But like it just means so much to my family too. Like my parents are so invested, like they're such big fans. And um so to see how much it means to them, like being able to go to the Super Bowl with them and like see how they soaked in that experience, I'm like, I need to remind myself that like this is not normal. Like I'm very, very blessed to do what I do. So if that makes sense.
Yeah. And how has being a woman affected your career in sports?
Yeah, I think I've been lucky because I've worked with men that I think a lot of people, I say this often to this question. I think a lot of people often give credit to women that have paved the way before them. And I agree, of course. Like, I certainly agree with that. Like, I wouldn't be here without, like, the Nancy Meyers of the world, or, who's been here for 52 years. And, women that did it first. But I think there's also something to be said for the men that gave them those opportunities, too, that were open to opening the door to women and giving them a chance. And I'm very lucky that I work for a department that does that. That actually like seeks out women of like, okay, how can I get her foot in the door? How can I get her in the industry, and give her an opportunity? And then of course, like our space is still very, very, very male dominated. But at the end of the day, like this is my choice. Like I don't have to work in the NFL. I get to. Like I am so blessed. I'm one of like I'm in a very small percentage of people. So I kind of view it as like, yeah, it's going to be hard because there's certain things that only that are, there's barriers with being a woman, of course, but like at the end of the day, there was a time where like I was never even going to be able to be allowed in this building, and I'm here. And I don't think if I have a problem with it, like I could always leave, but I don't want to because I love it and I'm very thankful for everything that I have. So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's so special. And I mean, as we're talking about how lucky you are to have this job, and anyone would be so lucky to be in your position, but how did you get your job with the Patriots?
Yeah. So, I applied for a summer internship in 2020. I was still in college. It got canceled because of COVID. Um, and then my senior year, I applied again. But they had already like had someone in mind or filled the position or whatever. But my boss still called me and was like, "Hey, if you stay in touch, like I'll keep you in mind for next summer." Um, so I ran with that. I was like, "Of course." So I stayed in touch, and um, I was able to get a summer internship in 2023. So that was between my first and second year of grad school, and then prior to leaving um, from that summer, they offered me a position to come back as the seasonal intern. So that was after I graduated. So I worked as an intern for a year, and then last year was my first year full time. So I would also say that's not common, but I've been very blessed. So
Yeah, that makes sense. That's really cool. And just to kind of wrap things up, what is a message that you have to girls like us or even younger who are hoping to have a career in sports or in sports media?
that is a good question. My advice. I think this is very cliche, but it really is all about who you know and how you cultivate those relationships. Um, so I think it's one, like, be confident that you belong there and that you deserve to be there, and lean on the people that can help you get there. Um, so I would say, like, if you find an ally, if you find a mentor, um, like, really lean into them and their advice and listen to people that have done it longer and had that experience. And I think the biggest thing is, like, I guess this is my advice, like, believe that you belong there. Like, believe in yourself and say, like, I deserve to be here. I deserve to take up space and have a voice. And um, that's something I'm still working on every single day. But, like, you're not here just to be here. Like, you're here because you bring value and you have something to say. So, um, yeah, just believe that you belong. That's my advice.
And to wrap it up, Julia, we just want to thank you so much for being our first ever guest on this podcast, and we really appreciate you taking your time out of your day.
Yes, thank
Of
you so
course.
much. You've given us some amazing answers. That was great advice. We'll definitely take it to heart.
Thank you, guys. I'm so honored to be the first one. That's so sweet. Thank
Yeah.
you. And I'm
Thank
proud of you guys
you.
for what you're doing.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Okay.
Well, guess we'll just get on with our
Yeah, I
show
guess
now.
we'll
We
get on with
thank
our
Julia so much again. She
That was
really is
wonderful,
incredible.
really, yeah.
I mean, great first guest to kick off the podcast.
Some great answers, too.
Yeah,
Did a
we
pretty
were,
cool job. I mean,
she
working with
really
the England
answered
Patriots, yeah.
most of our questions.
Yeah.
Like, she answered our follow-up questions in her
Yeah.
original answer, so we really she could only see one camera of us, so I felt really rude because we were trying to, like,
I know.
communicate
Yeah.
telepathically without actually speaking into the mics.
Yeah.
And she could only see the straight shot of both of us. So, but
Probably a little confused there, but
I know, because we were trying to figure out which questions we actually
Yeah.
still needed to ask, but
we sorted it out.
we sorted it out. I think it went very well. I'll give her one more thank you. And I mean, she went to LSU, huge school.
Huge school. Huge sports school. I mean,
Do we
That's
wanna- do we
fun.
want to talk about you? Well,
yeah, so big announcement. I accepted my full ride scholarship from URI, so
just
I'll
casual full
just
ride.
casual full ride. Had to drop that. But I will be attending the University of Rhode Island as a freshman this upcoming fall, and I'll be majoring in sports media. So I'm really excited to do that. And I'm looking forward to it.
It's gonna be
Hey,
great. A great
I have
experience.
great
and
opportunities.
Great
so,
opportunities. You're gonna have so much hands-on experience, and
Yeah, I'm really excited.
it'll be perfect. I mean, continuing on with college, we got to talk about
We have to.
the women's basketball championship. UConn lost.
UConn lost.
Which was a shock to
It's a
everyone.
shock. I mean, we were leaving the Legacy game, and we looked up at the big screen, and UConn was down.
They had
had
already
lost.
lost. We were so
We were
surprised
shocked.
because we hadn't been checking the score during that
No.
game. We were focusing on the soccer game, and then we look up, and I'm like, oh my goodness!
I know, and they lost by a pretty decent amount as well. So, and I was expecting them to win, honestly. I was expecting them at least to go to the final. So that was really shocking to see.
And then UCLA was just so dominant, 71-59. And South Carolina is also an incredible team. Just
100%.
UCLA was so overpowering. I mean, Betts with 14 and 11, 14 points, 11
Yeah.
rebounds, a double-double in the national championship.
I mean, you just don't really see that.
She's so dominant.
She's so dominant.
She's so skilled. She's so tall. She really had everything going for her in that game. And another crazy statistic that I came across, and I was doing a little research on that, is that all of the UCLA starters scored at least 10 points.
Yeah, that's insane.
There's just so many contributions from everyone on the
Exactly.
whole team. It really shows that it wasn't just one dominant player.
No,
I mean,
it's a team
even-
effort.
Like, Hawkeyes had 21 points.
Yeah.
Which normally you'd be like, wow, that player must have done everything. And then you see everyone else, and you're
Has
like,
at least 10 points, yeah.
okay, this really was a team, and that showed
Yeah.
just how strong they were. So that was the first ever national championship win for the Bruins.
For the Bruins, yeah.
I mean, we mentioned how we went to the Legacy game.
Yes. So much fun. It was our Taylor Swift night, so we got cool hats. That was really cute.
It was, you could see, we made a little Instagram reel. It said the hat say in our Legacy era. So we really liked them. They were cute.
They were really cute.
I mean, the Legacy did lose 1-0. They just haven't had much offense,
No.
but close game overall.
Yeah, it was really close. I mean, it just didn't look like the Legacy could get much going. I think they had a hard time kind of controlling the ball, and when they were making passes, like, the plays just were not there for them, unfortunately.
Yeah, they were having a little bit of a hard time stringing passes because players were just looking for opportunities and then had to hold on to the ball for too long, which isn't their fault, but just never a good combination for a team. But then at the end of the second half, the Wave almost scored a second goal.
They did.
And there was an incredible...
It was incredible.
We were just...
Everyone in our section was like...
We were really
astonished.
close to the field, which was amazing because
really
we were
cool.
able to sit in
Yeah.
like, great seats. But we really thought the ball, it was right on the goal line.
Yeah. And it kind
And-
of gone past the goalie.
Yeah, it had gone past the goalie, and Karabali got her body like right in front of the line.
And then she like kicked it. And, it was
And was
like-
able to save it. And
I don't
we
know
were
how
just,
she did
like,
it.
The sheer athleticism
I
on that
know.
play.
It was insane.
Yeah, we were in shock. We were stunned, but we're hoping to go to another game in the future and potentially have a few players on the interview if that opportunity works out. So stay
we're looking
tuned for
forward to
that
that.
in the future. we want to give a thank you to Sammy Wood, who has been switching for us. She does our audio. She's really our behind the scenes girl.
She really
She
is.
just opened the door to the studio and gave us a 5-minute warning sign. So we
I liked her little sign. That was really cute.
got us a little distracted. We want to thank her for that. She's keeping us on topic because we know how much we like to talk.
We
and
like to talk a
Our
lot.
interview was amazing.
But yeah.
Yeah, so when we were at the Legacy game, we were able to do a few interviews with fans.
Yes, we really were.
And so we're going to put right now, actually, at the end of this episode, a little segment just interviewing those fans. So it was really cool to just hear different perspectives.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. That was really fun.
Stay tuned for that. We're hopefully going to go to other games in the future, have other interviews. We want to thank Julia one more time.
Yes.
And stay tuned for episode 3.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Isla and I are here at the Boston Legacy game against the San Diego Wave. We're going to walk around Gillette asking people questions about the Legacy.
Here with 2 young fans. Can I get a favorite player?
I don't really have one.
Have one yet?
I really like their captain.
And then can I get a score prediction from you guys?
2-1. 1-1.
And finally, how do you guys feel about having a women's sports team in Boston?
I think it's really good because women can do anything just like men. I think it's really exciting because we've never really had a soccer team.
Obviously, Legacy is a brand new team. Do you have a favorite player so far?
Not yet. I'm just getting to learn all of them, but I really wanted to support a women's team. My husband is a big soccer fan, and we've had Rev season tickets for 16 years. And so I said, if we've got those, we need to support the women too. So we bought season tickets for Legacy.
Do you have a favorite player on the Legacy?
I think my favorite player is Nikki Hernandez, but she's been out.
What about you?
Isada.
Great. And what is your score prediction for tonight?
I really want the Legacy to win, but I think it's going to be San Diego 3, Legacy 1.
I'll say the Legacy then. Legacy will win 1-0.
Okay, good predictions, good predictions. And what does it mean to you to have a professional women's soccer team in Boston?
I love watching women's sports, and so to be able to finally go to games in person is so great, and I just totally love it, and I'm excited they're here.
Perfect. Anything from you?
Yeah, I think that's great having the team here. We went to some Breakers games when the Breakers were a long time ago, and it's great having another team back and having the league obviously being successful.
Can I get a favorite player?
Kimmy!
Me. And then what is your guys' score prediction for tonight's game?
Maybe like 2-3?
4-1. 3-2.
2-1 Legacy.
8-5.
And then what does it mean for you guys to have a professional women's sports team in Boston?
It's honestly pretty empowering. This is our first time going to a Legacy game as a team, and seeing everyone out here supporting is really uplifting.
It's pretty awesome. Boston has a great sports, but it's even cooler to have women's sports. I would also have to say it's very empowering. We all go to an all-girls school, so I think this is just like a perfect reminder that girls run the world. I also think it's amazing to have it in Boston and have a big crowd come and all these people support the women's teams and not just the men's. Everyone watches women's sports.